Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco. Powered by the Difference Media LLC. Hosted by Brian Poduska. And sponsored by Real Property Management Focus. Certainty Home Lending. Donovan Creative Agency. Bethany Rowan with Rowan Homes. PBJ Mortgage. Best Buddies. The Frisco Rough Riders baseball team. And by Team Watson Redeemers.
The Community Difference Frisco was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals.
So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Frisco starts now.
Well, good afternoon, Frisco. Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco. We are a podcast firmly rooted at the intersection of business development and community involvement. I'm your host, Brian Poduska. I'm the owner of Real Property Management Focus, where we focus on your real estate investments, located right here in Frisco, Texas. And if you have not seen our show before, we are, as I said, a community-based podcast. We put the spotlight on folks of 5 different types of pillars, right? Those would be business owners, entrepreneurs, community leaders, elected officials, board members, things like that. Frisco ISD leadership, nonprofit leadership, which we have as one of our co-hosts today, and sports leadership. So if you don't know, Frisco is Sports City USA. We have multiple sports sponsors right here in Frisco, one of which is the Frisco Rough Riders, the Frisco Fires, which we'll hear from the Rough Riders next week in more detail. But that is who we are putting the spotlight on. And we also have rotating co-hosts, which we will bring on here in a second. And we have a business topic that we dive into every month that rotates every month. So the business topic for the month of September is effective top-of-mind strategies, how to build a relevant, iconic brand without being salesy and self-promoting. So we will dive into that topic with our guests and with our co-hosts a little bit later on in the show. But first, we need to introduce our co-host first. Let's bring on Miss Jax Crider first, Lennon, if you don't mind. Hi, Jax. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you again.
Of course, always.
Yeah, awesome. Well, are you having a great week?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying the cooler weather. As we were discussing earlier, it's probably false fall. So we're about to go into like second summer and, die of heat stroke. But hey, I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. When it's sub 90, that is ideal.
Yep, it's a good time to be in Texas this past week. I don't know if we can say the same thing weather-wise next week, but we'll take it while we have it.
Exactly.
Well, Jax, why don't you remind the audience who you are, and if you wouldn't mind also introducing your guests.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Jax Crider. I run PBJ Mortgage, where we're making mortgage simple, as simple as making a peanut butter jelly sandwich. And I also deal with some like financial type things as well on the financial mastery simplified space. My guest today, her name is Maria, and Maria owns a really great cleaning company here in Frisco. She has a really interesting backstory that I'll let her share with you later. But she and I connected through some different networking platforms here in Frisco. And I love that she's a strong woman, a Hispanic woman who supports the Hispanic community. And I love that.
Well, that's fantastic. Lennon, why don't you bring her in and we'll say hello. Hi, Maria. How are you?
Hey.
Well, great to have you as a guest today. What are you most looking forward to on the show today?
I am looking forward to hear more about Frisco. I am like a new Friscoite. Is that how you call yourselves?
Friscoite, Friscoian. I've heard all of them. So I'm not sure what the official term is, but we'll go with any of those.
Well, I like Frisco 9. It's like, ooh, I'm excited to connect with everyone.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to hear more about you, and we will dive into your story a little bit later in the show. So welcome to the show. Great to have you today.
Thank you.
And then why don't we bring in Miss Tracey Churchman as well? Hi, Tracey.
Hello.
Good to see you again.
Likewise.
I feel like I just saw you. Oh, that's
I know. Wait a minute. Huh?
So
we were just dangling upside down on a ropes course. All
That's
good.
right. So I did want to congratulate Tracey officially on the air here, fellow Leadership Frisco Class 28 member. So congratulations on that. We went through a training course this past weekend, team building training course, get to know you sort of thing, which was awesome. So welcome back to the show. Good to see you. Why don't you remind the audience who you are, what you do, and then if you would like to introduce your guest as well.
Sure. Well, first, congrats to you too. Back at ya, classmate. I'm Tracey Churchman with Best Buddies in North Texas, and we at Best Buddies aim to end isolation for people with disabilities through friendship, jobs, and leadership. And my guest today is the amazing Gisella Kaendler. She is the owner of Events GK, also known as Plant and Sip DFW. It's a mobile event platform. I don't know how to call it, but she basically comes to you to do team building or fundraisers. I'll let her get into it more, but she and I connected at our first ever parent event for Best Buddies, where she led a group of parents into building small, cute little succulent terrariums. And she's just full of life, and I just love her to pieces. So welcome, Gisella.
All right. Well, let's say hi to Gisella.
Hello. How are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. Excited to have you on the show and learn more about you. What are you most excited to learn or be a part of the show today?
Well, really, I love the city of Frisco. I've been when I started my business in 2017, 2018. This was the first city I came to go ahead and expand my networking circle. So I've been part of the Frisco Chamber of Commerce, and I've done a lot of business with the Frisco Pips, and I am also part of the Frisco Women League. I'm part of that community, and then also of the Women's in Business from the Frisco Chamber. So I'm really, really involved with your city because I really love your camaraderie and the way that you run things in your business.
Awesome. Well, good to hear that. Yeah, the Frisco Chamber is a great organization. I'm glad to hear that you've been successful in navigating through the chamber. They do a lot of great things for local business owners, big and small. So welcome to the show today. Excited to hear more about your story as we go later in the show. But what we need to do first is give our sponsors a little bit of love. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after that.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Ethan Donovan with Donovan Creative Agency. Jacqueline Crider with PBJ Mortgage. Tracey Churchman with Best Buddies. Kristen King Marketing Rep with the Frisco Rough Riders. And by Bethany Rowan, Realtor with Rowan Homes. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for
What's Up Frisco?
There you have it. There's our sounder for What's Up Frisco. So this is the segment where we get into what's going on around town, right? So we're not talking all the big stuff that you can just Google and find out. We're talking about, networking events, fundraisers that may not be as published as some of the other things that you're going to find on Google, job openings, things like that. So we're going to go around the horn and talk about what's going on in Frisco. Let's start with Jax. What do you have for us this week?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's interesting that Tracey and Gisella were talking a little bit about how she does some terrarium succulent stuff. I kind of like to garden and things like that. And there is a nursery here in Frisco called Shades of Green, and they do this event, which is like a BYOB. So, doesn't everybody like to bring their own alcohol somewhere? And they do this little succulent pumpkin happy hour thing, and it's going on September 26th, and you can buy tickets for it. But basically they take like a pumpkin and they put some like succulents on it. I did it one year. It was a lot of fun, and you can like put it on your table, so that's a blast. And then my family is German. My husband is 100% German. My mom is 100% German. So I love when Oktoberfest comes up, and they're going to do a massive Oktoberfest at the Star. It's going to be Saturday, October the 5th. So this is a great opportunity to go out, to dress up like you're a German and drink a lot of alcohol, eat a lot of good German food, and should be a good time.
Well, Oktoberfest has a nice ring to it with the dark beer and lederhosen, I guess. Why not?
Let's just hope it's not 100 degrees. Let's wish for like 80 below.
That's right. Oktoberfest, as you guys who've seen the show or know me, I grew up in Chicago, so Oktoberfest is always that time of year where, the weather is nice and crisp, the fall air is nice and crisp, and you have fire pits and fires and dark beer, and so I look forward to that event. That should be awesome. I've seen a lot of stuff on it. It's going to be a pretty big event, so I look forward to that. Awesome. Well, thanks, Jax. Appreciate you sharing those events. Tracy, let's go to you next. What do you have?
I have a lot.
Let's go.
All right. September 18th, we're doing Buddies at the Ballpark, where we're going to a Ranger game, and you can sign up for that on our events page on our website. And then the 25th is Frisco ISD Special Education Department is hosting a meet and greet, which is 6 to 8 p.m. at the admin building. We will be there as well. But that's a great place to find resources, connect with other families in the district. Highly recommend. And then in October, we are partnering with Johnny and Friends on October 2nd for the Sensory Day at the State Fair, where essentially volunteers will help people with diverse abilities make their way through the State Fair and check everything out, kind of with a tour guide. And then the 20th of October, we have our annual Fall Festival, which anyone is welcome to join us at that. It'll be at Chicken and Pickle. I almost said Pickle and Chickle. That's not right. Chicken and Pickle. Chicken and Pickle in Grapevine on the 20th. It'll be tons of fun. And then last but certainly not least, November 22nd is our Champion of the Year Gala. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year, and tickets start at $200. And I have a few sponsorships left.
All right. Well, we look forward to that event. That is your biggest event from a fundraising standpoint of the year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, cool. So a couple more sponsors. Get in that opportunity right now. Just look up Tracey Churchman to get more information on how to do that. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Tracy. Let's move over to Maria. Go ahead and share what you have going on.
I am really excited to attend another Hispanic Heritage Month here in Frisco. I got to be part of it last year with Arturo Vandelay. He's the organizer. And it was very pleasant. They had really good music and they had food. It was a great turnout. So if you guys have plans, if you don't have plans actually for October 12th, it's from 2 to 8. And you can find more information on the page Hispanic Heritage Festival. And they're actually looking for volunteers, plenty of volunteer opportunities for people that want to cooperate with the community of Frisco. And I look forward to seeing everyone there.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, Maria. That's awesome. And Gisella, I think you had one thing that you wanted to highlight as well.
Yes. So this is going to be our second annual Plant and Seed Party. We are going to do it with Little Hearts of Hope. This is a fundraiser. So like I said, it's our second year doing this. It's going to happen on November 2nd from 11 to 1. The location is Grandion Event Venue in Frisco. And we will have brunch, mimosas, raffles, and of course, we will lead the pumpkin and succulent class. where everybody gets a pumpkin, and then we bring different kinds of succulents that you can decorate the pumpkin with, and different also fall decorations, moss, so you can make your beautiful pumpkin that will last you at least until January. And then you can even create a terrarium with the succulents that are already growing their roots. So if you can invite your friends or book a table, and then you can have some fun while raising money for hurting children that have a parent or sibling fighting cancer. This is what Little Hearts of Hope is about.
Well, that's fantastic, and we've had Little Hearts of Hope representation on the show before. So, friends of the program, thank you for sharing that information. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Lennon, I've got a few things that I wanted to highlight. Go ahead and pull up whatever you've got in your queue, and I'll talk to them. All right, so coming to the NAC Theater in downtown Frisco, small venue, right, is a national touring card magician. His name's Jason Ledane. He's hilarious, and he does some amazing things with cards. If you've ever seen his shorts and reels, or if you haven't, just search his name up. You're going to see him online. He's all over the place. Funny dude. Like I said, does amazing things with cards. Coming to our small downtown cozy theater, seats about 250 people, October 18th and 19th, 8 p.m. Get your tickets now. I believe they're actually on sale now, and I guarantee you will sell out. So go out there and get those. Next up, I think we have another comedian. Yep, there he is. Mr. Tom Cotter. His show is a little bit later, November 16th, 2024, 7:30 and 9 p.m. It's adults preferred only, right? 18 plus you see there. So get out there. That's also at the NAC Theater, again, in downtown Frisco. National act coming to our small downtown. So check that out. All right, what else do we have as far as screenshots? All right, so the Incubator EDU. So this is a Frisco ISD program. Now what you see there is the breakfast that already happened, but I wanted to mention this because the Incubator program is still looking for volunteers. It is currently in 5 Frisco high schools of the 13 total. They're looking to roll that out in future years to more high schools. But what this is, it's a program essentially like a Shark Tank based program for young entrepreneurs. So they put together a project, they pitch it to a board of directors, i.e. the Sharks, and they will allocate funding and send them to a national competition to eventually get actual funding to launch their project. So pretty exciting thing. I went to this breakfast. I'm excited to volunteer for it. Volunteers are needed to be in classroom, be mentors to the children and the students that are part of this program, and also to be on the board of directors. So be a shark if you want. So all those positions are needed. Please reach out to myself or one of our classmates. We don't have her information to reach out to, but I can point you to her when we get those volunteers. All right, a couple other things I wanted to talk about going on. Most immediately tomorrow in the town of Frisco, we have Coffee with the Mayor, which is a regular segment, but this one happens to be at the PGA Frisco. So that is at 8 a.m. at PGA Frisco. That is at 1916 PGA Parkway. It's open to the public, so if you want to listen to what's going on straight from Mayor Cheney's mouth, go to that. They also have an open Q&A session. It's a great information sharing opportunity. Again, one of our classmates in Leadership Frisco, Nicole Mayberry, is one of the ones hosting that event. So go check that out. And then also I wanted to call this out because we've done it in our neighborhood. It's called Frisco Community Awareness Night. It's October 2nd from 5 to 9 p.m. Basically what this is, you can reach out to the Frisco Fire Department, Police Department. More information can be found on friscotexas.gov/CAN. That stands for Community Awareness Night. So friscotexas.gov/CAN. And the police department, fire department come to your block. The kids can crawl on the fire trucks. They get to meet the policemen, the firemen. It's a great way for the community to engage with the people that support our safety here in Frisco. So I know they love it because I've talked to some of the fire department folks, the firefighters and the policemen. They love it, and the kids love it. I've seen it in action. So please check that out. Again, it's October 2nd, 5 to 9 p.m.
Awesome.
That is all I have. If you guys don't have anything else, we'll wrap that segment. Put a nice bow on it. That's what's going on in Frisco this week and in coming weeks. With that, thank you all for sharing. We are going to take another quick commercial break. On the backside, we are going to dive into the business topic of the month, which again is effective top of mind strategies, how to build a relevant, iconic brand without being salesy and self-promoting. So we'll talk about that in a minute here.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
Buying a home? It should be an exciting time, not a stressful one. At Proven National Title, we understand that buyers want fast, reliable, transparent, seamless, convenient title and closing services. Therefore, our services are not limited to our office or yours. Let Jackie Tobar and all the fine folks at Proven National Title help make your dream of homeownership a reality. Call us today for a smooth and stress-free closing. Contact us at 972-752-8540 or email at jackie.tobar@provennationaltitle.com. Proven National Title. Give me one and I'll earn the rest.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to Community Difference Frisco. Great to see everybody here today, and I'm excited to talk about this business topic of the month. You can see it scrolling at the bottom there. Effective top of mind strategies, how to build a relevant, iconic brand without being salesy and self-promoting. I love this topic, and I'm in the unique position here where I get to hear different perspectives every single week from all the different 5 types of people that we have on this program. So I'm excited to hear your guys' thoughts on it. I know there's a lot of great, large company examples of this, the iconic brand, the Apple, the Nike, the Pepsi, the Coke, you name it, right? There's tons of great iconic brands, and they've all done that in certain different ways. But at some point it becomes, they don't have to be self-promoting, right? They don't have to be, salesy necessarily. It's that brand that carries them to their success and their sales. So, Jax, I'm going to let you kick off, kind of the Q&A here with our guests. I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Brian. I think that I love this topic too, because first of all, I don't know about y'all, but I absolutely hate being salesy. I mean, we obviously need business, right? Everybody has to have business stay afloat, even if you're nonprofit, right? If you don't have people coming in, helping you, donating, etc., you're not going to succeed. You're not going to be where you need to be. For me, I wanted to know, what do you guys think is probably the best way, to leverage maybe your unique value proposition without appearing like you're being really salesy, like you are just me. Like, what's you guys' opinion about that?
I think it has to start with caring. And you really have to care. You can't fake caring. You can't fake wanting to learn about the customer and your prospect or your avatar. You can't fake that. And when you fake that, that's when you come off salesy. And it's a really sticky feeling because it's like, it almost kind of turns you off forever.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I like that, Maria.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Jax. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I like that. And I like the underlying, the basis, the foundation of caring. And that gets down to relationship building, right? You can't build a relationship if you don't care about the other person or care about their needs, if you're a service-based business. So I like that, and I like how that touches on the underlying foundation of relationship and relationship building. Jax, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say, I think that, some of the bigger brands do some of that pretty well, right? Like kind of that caring piece. Like, I don't know. I think it's Bomba's like the stock brand, right? Like where you buy one and then they give one to somebody else, like kind of showing that, yeah, they're covering people's feet, but they're trying to cover everyone's feet, not just the people who are paying for the sock. You know what I mean? Like there are some cool kind of concepts like that have come out with that. And that's kind of a unique branding opportunity that's unlike, your typical, again, me, look at me. I do my job well. We have a great brand or whatever. Do you guys find that you do anything specific like that in your own branding to try to pull that forward?
Right. And that's what comes from community. Like I was saying before, I love being in Frisco because I've been doing business this city since 2017, and that comes with having be part of your community. For example, I go ahead and love to volunteer for Frisco Fastpacks, for Refresh NTX, doing fundraisers with Little Hearts of Hope. It's not, for me, I always say it's not, receiving. It's also giving, because I also go to the teachers appreciation meetings that you have, so I can give them some, maybe a supplement, or maybe I will give them a chapstick. So like I said, it's about community and knowing your people and making friends out of all those people that surround you.
I love that example, Giselle, and I love how you drew the parallel to doing an event that's helping Little Hearts of Hope. So that social responsibility factor, right? So it's relationship, it's social responsibility.
Exactly.
Jax, you mentioned it more on a national brand level,
sure,
right? I think Tom's right. They've got a donation program that they run. There's several others. REI comes to mind. Some other like major brands that are out there that have a social responsibility aspect to their purchases. So if you purchase something from them, a percentage of their sales goes to, some sort of, altruistic type cause, right? So love that. Tracey, I know you were going to ask a question as well, so I'm going to kick it over to you.
Sure. Yeah. I was just curious how you both make or create innovative customer experiences.
Well, in my case, the thing is that whenever you come to one of my events, the first thing I do is I make fun of myself, because as you can see, I have an accent. So I really start with that, telling everybody that don't expect me to have a perfect accent, and just to go along with me and try to have fun. And then I just engage people on having fun, on having a different kind of experience where they are not just there to learn on how to plant a succulents or how to make a nice wreath. They are there to have a good time. I always say that my events are parties, they are not workshops. And that's how I really differentiate myself from the other people that kind of do the same kind of events.
Great.
Hi, Tracey. Tracey Duff, that is, tuning in from the Plano show. Thanks for watching. So I want to hit on the topic the effective top of mind strategies is how we're leading in. You can see it scrolling at the bottom there, right? Effective top of mind strategies. So I want to focus in on the top of mind piece of this, right? Which, Gisella, you just kind of touched on that. So I like that. I've got a good question for you guys, and I'd love to hear. It's a hypothetical, right? So there's no right or wrong answer, but imagine you were given $100,000 in ad spend, but with one catch. You can't mention your business or promote it directly. Your only goal is to build a genuine connection with your community and position yourself as a dedicated servant of the people. What strategy would you use to accomplish that? So $100,000, that's a lot of money.
I would promote cleaning or using that money to promote free cleanings for people that have disabilities, probably elderly people that have struggled with injuries. We wouldn't mention our company, but we would mention that we're giving out free cleanings. And if people want to come and volunteer, that'll be a great way to also give back to their community, because there is a lot of people that need these services, but they don't have the budget to get this done. So I think it would be a great way to spend that ad dollars and promote, even like getting the community together. In San Antonio, we used to have a thing where we used to go picking up trash, and it was just a bunch of people picking up trash in the Riverwalk, in the parks, and it just brought community during COVID. So I would use that to just get the community together.
Okay, I like that. Think about it from a perspective of, is there a partnership you could form? So you touched on your services already. So is there something that you could do from a community standpoint to involve the community without talking specifically about your business or service?
Yeah, definitely. Like, for example, in my case with plants, I wouldn't need to talk about plants. Having a plant helps you with mindfulness, it's a stress reliever. So really, I would just go ahead and, like she said, go with the community and maybe put a market together where everybody can come and know more about plants, know more of how to be healed by plants, not necessarily just, succulents, or because that's my main thing, succulents. So the only thing that I would like to accomplish with this kind of approach is that people know more about how to heal with plants and how plants are effective for mental health.
I was going to say, yeah, you could do like a mental health day that is sponsored by you with like $100,000. You know what I mean? Like have mental health practitioners kind of come out and do those kinds of things or whatever. Like in my space, the financial services space, we could do something similar, but like, again, mental health related, and how, to improve your life, because it inadvertently affects, money, etc. And it's something that we have an epidemic of it going around, right? And I would never need to mention that I deal with financial services at all, right? I just know that it's something that touches my space because, like, I have my own podcast, and people will say all the time, well, I can't be on it. I don't talk about financials. And I'm like, you don't need to talk about financials. So many different things touch that, right? People don't realize how much things are intersecting, and you don't ever have to say that you do a specific thing to connect those dots. You just have to be genuinely caring about people, and in a way that other people recognize you as somebody who cares, right? I think that is, that's the thing that makes you different.
You're making that access global for everyone and touching something that everyone goes through, but also bringing your business to them.
Well, and I like that from the standpoint of, okay, yes, you've got a need, right? Whether it's an overarching need that somebody has, whether it's mental health or something like that. And I like what you said, Gisella, of, again, the challenge here is not mentioning your business, right? Or not being salesy. So what you brought up is in order to make yourself top of mind, right? You're organizing that community or a partnership with other services that can help to address a need, right? And you being
let me jump in, Brian, real quick. Jack just asked me, and I want to touch on that because I think it's very important. we need to be careful in a top of mind strategy. Number one, a top of mind strategy is not a one-off event. A top of mind strategy is an ongoing event, a constant event, right? Frequent, consistent, and constant. Because that's what top of mind means. You're having touch points so often so that people always remember you. If you only do one event, they know you then, but in 6 months, they may forget you.
That's
so
true.
you want a constant, frequent, top of mind action. So to answer your question, Jax, if we're talking, even if we didn't mention the name of our business, but we talked about what we do, the minute someone finds out what we do, they're going to go, now I know what they were up to. They were trying to subtly sell me. So how do we get in front of our community and serve our community in ways that they have no idea what we do? But the minute they find out, they love us so much already because of what we've done for the community. There's no doubt they want to do business with us.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? That is the most effective top of mind strategy, because they see you as a giver first, not someone that's trying to create a sales strategy through top of mind. Right?
Right. Right. And that's where my point comes across. If it doesn't have to be with that money, it's not going to be just a one-time event. It can be an event that it's hosted every month at different places, different locations in Frisco, and it's going to be about mental health. So I will be bringing people that does yoga. So we will have like a yoga class. We will have one of those disc sound bath going on. We will have some other people that they can create their garden by maybe getting to grow tomatoes or some kind of vegetable. So each one of these pop-ups, we have one intention on what we're going to do that month for the community.
I have a strategy for that after you're done, Brian.
Yeah, I do want to hear that, Maria. And I was just thinking about a way to, kind of summarize what and put together what each one of you guys have said, including what Lyndon just said. So, Maria, you said caring, right? So that was what you kind of led off with. Addressing needs, from an altruistic or a larger, bigger picture, bigger scale, platform. Gisella, you mentioned that, right? Community engagement, you mentioned that as far as an event, or Jax and Tracey, you guys have both mentioned getting involved from a community standpoint. Lyndon hit on a key point there: consistency, top of mind. You got to stay top of mind. How do you do that? Giselle, I like that recurring sort of event, right? Or action. It doesn't have to be an event, but an action. So as we think about how are we going to maintain that consistency to stay top of mind, those are some of the tools that we need to think about as small business owners. Okay, it's going to regular networking meetings face to face. It's doing things like we're doing right now, right? On a community-based podcast, we are elevating each other's business, or at least bringing attention to other people's businesses without the intention of being salesy. That's never been our intention here at The Difference, right? It's doing that consistent social media posting. It's highlighting other people and other people's businesses as partners that can help the community, right? So I like all of those. And if you kind of mix them all up and put them together, I feel like that's how you can keep that top of mindness to it, right? We always talk about being seen, being heard, and most importantly, being remembered. So like Lyndon said, it doesn't matter what you do. That's not the most important thing. It's who you are, how you're representing yourself, how consistent you are. And then, you do mortgage, Jax. Awesome. I'm looking for a home. I didn't know that. Or I know 10 people who are going to be looking for a home in the next year. All of a sudden, you're top of mind, and Jax is a great person to work with, right?
I think at the most basic level, though, it's about building a reputation, right? Through working hard and delivering what you've promised, I think, through word of mouth.
100%. And bringing it back to those iconic, massive brands, right? Apple doesn't have a product, all the products they have, but they don't have the iPhone, right? If it doesn't have product efficacy, right? It has to work. It has to be something that enhances your life. And guess what? It does. I mean, all of us have our nose in the phone. So you have to have, just like you're saying, Tracey, you have to have a basis of your personal brand and who you are. And, you know,
Lyndon once told me it has to be trendy to do business with you.
Well, be the Apple, be the Nike, be the right.
Maria, that's the truth, Jack. That's the truth. If you really want a successful top of mind strategy, then if you create it where it's trendy, people want to do business with you because it makes them feel good about their selves because they're associated with you. That means you're a very special person, and it goes beyond what you're selling.
But I think there's power in being the tried and true brand as well, not just.
But that's different than top of mind. That's advertising. That's advertising and marketing. We're talking about top of mind strategy, and it's completely different when you're looking at social media strategies.
Yeah.
When you have influencers out there, when the market is saturated with ad after ad after ad, if those people, Tracey, that already know you and they know your reputation, it's not as important to become top of mind with them. They already know you.
Right.
So that's not who you're targeting with your top of mind strategy. You're trying to address people that don't know you yet and may not want what you have today.
Right.
But when they do,
I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah. A year from now, when they do, you're the one they think of first. So top of mind marketing and advertising is really, it's a lot different because of today's digital technology. Yesterday's advertising technology and print ad and billboards and all the other, you had to do it all together. It was all encapsulated. It's not necessarily that way anymore.
Well, if I may add to that, Brian and Lyndon, what we do with top of mind is what Grant Cardone said. I mean, I went to Elena Cardone's 10X Ladies like 3 weeks ago, and he walked on stage and he told us, be creative. When you're following up with your prospects, when you're staying top of mind, be creative. And so I think that it starts with yourself. If you want to stay top of mind, you have to pour into yourself. You have to get these sales trainings. You have to get these follow-up trainings. You have to feed your mind so that you're not stuck in the antiquated way of staying top of mind.
100%.
Which is calling and saying, hey, so I'm following up, because that sounds really salesy. So instead of having a conversation and really caring, like, hey, I remember you said this about your dog. Check this out. They're having a free shot, whatever place. Go take your dog there if they're not up to their shots. I just care about you. Or, hey, I remember you said your kid was 6 and you wanted to get him into jiu-jitsu. And just caring about the person literally, instead of just calling and saying, I want to follow up and stay top of mind and relevant, because everybody can do that. I think it's sticking out like a sore thumb and being creative. Even if you have to sing them a happy birthday song, which I've done so many times, I will do that because I care about the people that I want to work with. And so when you are creative and you just flip the script on what they're supposed to expect from a cleaning company, they just kind of like, they're taken back. And it's like someone told me, you might not be their cup of tea, but you're going to be someone's champagne. If someone likes to be sang to, they're going to call you and say, Maria, I like the way that you sang to me. Come clean my house.
Well, that is certainly unique. I like that. I like to be sang to, Maria. Can we, set up a quarterly song to remind me of, to get my house clean?
She'll get a violin out for you. Right?
Yes, I'll learn to violin.
Maria, you did say something. I mean, Grant Cardone is a leader in innovative marketing. There is, other than him and Gary Vee are probably the most creative in how to get attention without being salesy and over promotional. Mm-hmm. They're brilliant and they're geniuses. And if anybody's never heard of them and never followed them, I encourage you to do so, because even just watching their shorts and reels, you will learn a lot. You don't have to go. I mean, it's great if you can go to their seminars, but just watching their shorts and reels, they give so much value. And that is another example. And Maria, I'm telling the truth on this. Mm-hmm. Grant Cardone stays top of mind through his shorts and reels and not even talking about his business. He has shorts and reels out there where he's talking about his business, and he's talking about how to do business with him. But what he's doing to help people see things differently is what keeps people coming back and attracted to him.
And he's a person that is very strong. I mean, not everybody loves him, but like he creates what I like to call super fans, and in the best way. And like that's another, like you said, Maria, you may not be everybody's cup of tea. I jokingly say that all the time. I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I have a very big, very strong personality, but I love when you added, but I am someone champagne, because it's totally true, right? Like you have to remind yourself that if you are being yourself, you are caring about other people, you are being innovative, you are, figuring out ways, like, when you were saying earlier, Brian, all I could think of is like, oh, like the community difference. We're trying to make a difference in the community, right? And by that, by default, people are then seeing us in a different, more unique light. But yeah, I mean, people just don't realize that you do not have to just come out here and say, pick me, pick me. You can have innovative, top of mind strategies by, like Lennon said, being consistent, doing things differently, creating some really great ways to showcase yourself and therefore also your brand.
Yes, I like that a lot. And I'm looking at the clock here. This has been a good, engaging session. I like this when we're talking about, being top of mind strategies. And I'll end it on this. It's going to be a joke, but you talk about not being everybody's cup of tea, but somebody's champagne. I do love that saying. That's a good one. How about the Haktua girl? Right?
Man, that woman has made her way. Have you guys seen her? She has a new podcast. Her podcast is donating money to like her number one cause, which I think is like pets or something like that, which makes you almost want to love her even more. Like, first of all, for being able to say that out loud.
What's the name of the podcast? Is it Spit on It?
It's something like that. It's something that goes into the Haktua thing. Like, I can't remember, but I saw an article about it the other day. Now I want to know.
That's awesome. That's hilarious. I brought it up kind of as a joke, but my point in all of that is, right? Talk about top of mind strategy.
Talk to her.
Talk to her. Okay. Or spit on it. I think Maria may have a completely new rebranding here. Okay. I brought this conversation down in the gutter pretty quickly, but it is relevant in the business topic. With that, we're going to take a quick break and we will come back. And I do want to hear about our guest stories. That is one of my favorite parts of every single week because I get to know you guys a little bit better. So with that, Lennon, go ahead and take us to commercial. We'll be right back.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
Buying a home? It should be an exciting time, not a stressful one. At Proven National Title, we understand that buyers want fast, reliable, transparent, seamless, convenient title and closing services. Therefore, our services are not limited to our office or yours. Let Jackie Tobar and all the fine folks at Proven National Title help make your dream of homeownership a reality. Call us today for a smooth and stress-free closing. Contact us at 972-752-8540 or email at Jackie.Tobar at provennationaltitle.com. Proven National Title. Give me one and I'll earn the rest.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
And now, back to the show.
Okay, well, welcome back. This is the segment where we're going to deep dive a little bit into our guests and their stories and their passions and their whys. So with that, Maria, we're going to start with you. Tell us about how you ended up starting your company. I always love hearing that story.
It wasn't me. I didn't come here and be like, I'm going to start a cleaning company.
Well, nobody ever does. Well, rarely do you get the one where like, oh, perfect. This is exactly what I want to do. So tell us how you got to that.
I've been really diving deep into that and figuring out how did I really end up here? Because it's easy to say God put me here, right? Like I believe in God. I believe He works things and in His way. He has a plan. But I think it was also the mother's love. It's what I call in Spanish, el amor de madre. Like a lot of the things that I have accomplished in life, I've seen that it's because of my motherly love. And we've seen moms just do extraordinary things for their kids, and they survive and they come out on top one way or the other because of their motherly love. And so I think that what got us here to the cleaning company was my motherly love. I moved to Frisco, or actually Aubrey, like in 2022, former fitness and nutrition coach for women. I did that for 5 years in San Antonio. I loved it. Girl Code Fitness was my jam. And I moved up here and I was gonna, I had, it was just, I'll go into that story another time, but I ended up here. And then in order to survive, I ended up cleaning. And then one way or another, I ended up cleaning so much that I didn't even have a name for my company. We were cleaning Airbnbs. My landlord, actually, I love to say this story. I will say this story because this story is actually interesting. And I know a lot of people can relate to it, which is moving into a house that's not move-in ready. Like you get there, you unpack your bags, and then you go to the restroom and you're like, wait a minute, what? And then you start seeing everything and you start pulling back the layers and you see the blinds and the flies. I mean, I found baby teeth in this house and I was just so grossed out. I was like, I cannot do this. And I was working from home because I was a fitness online coach. And in between my calls, I would find myself cleaning the house. And I was calling the landlord, and bless her heart, I was like, you need to get someone out here. And she sent like 3 people and no one could get it clean. It was a 5-bedroom house. So I grew desperate and I told my fiance at the time, I said, you know what? I'm sick of this. I said it in Spanish. I was like, ya me cansé. I'm going to start cleaning. And so I started just buying stuff, and I cleaned the entire house. And I told her, you need to discount the rent because this is ridiculous. It took me like 3 weeks to get that house cleaned. I mean, I wasn't a professional at the time, so it took me a while. And she was like, of course I'll discount the rent, but I want to see how clean it is. And so she walks in and she's like, oh, it's the cleanest it's been in 7 years. And my heart sank. I was like, yeah, it's not a fun moment. But then she asked me, do you clean? And so in that proud moment, I thought she meant like, do you clean the house? And I was like, of course I clean the house. And she's like, come clean my Airbnbs. And I was like, just thinking of survival. And I was like, sure, I'll go clean your Airbnbs. And next thing you know, I was doing market research, Googling and YouTubing how to clean Airbnbs. And one thing led to another. I started cleaning a whole bunch of Airbnbs. And then by the time I noticed, it was March. And, spring break season is in full swing. There's a lot of, Airbnbs being rented. And I had 1 week of Monday. And I said, I'm going to focus on my fitness business because I haven't paid attention to it. And then I get a call from this lady. And she's like, I need a move out cleaning. I've never done residential, never done move outs, just Airbnbs. And she sits there and she tells me what she wants. So I go back on Google and YouTube how to clean a move out. And then I asked how to price it. I gave her a price. She accepted, went to clean it. She loved it. I was like, okay, great. So I get to focus back on my fitness business. And then she goes, I love the cleaning and I love the results. We have 180 properties because we're investors and we need you to clean all of them by the end of summer. And I was just like, it was just going to be one time. So I started cleaning. And next thing you know, it's June. I didn't have a name for the business. And I just said, I am the best cleaning company. And here we are. 18 months.
I can certainly relate as a owner of a property management company, the need for it. 180 properties in a short period of time. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the business world, I guess. But yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing stories like that. And it's that uniqueness, right? Like one small opportunity all of a sudden blossomed into this, you didn't get into the business because you really wanted and enjoyed cleaning. It was more of like, wow, this is an opportunity that really presented itself. Obviously a huge need to be filled. I can appreciate that 100%.
Don't get me wrong, Brian. I love cleaning. I am obsessed with it.
Well,
I get everywhere and I'm like, I need to clean your vents. This is not right.
Okay, well,
what she's saying is don't invite her over to any of our houses because she's gonna judge all of us. That's what not going over my house ever with my toddler and my dogs and everything else.
I'll start running my finger and I'll be like, you need to hire me.
Right. Well, perfect example, right? Building business while we're talking on screen here. We're gonna have to talk after this about some make readies at our properties as well. That's all. So one more question for you, and then we'll move over to Gisella. What brought you to Frisco from San Antonio?
I was gonna get married, and it was like the perfect fairy tale. I was gonna get married. I got a 5-bedroom house, gonna have a baby, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. So that's where I was like, I can't go back. It's like I'm already out here, and I moved from Aubrey to Frisco, and it's funny because I was just telling the story. God puts you where you need to be at the right time with the right people. I did not even know that Frisco had suburbs. I didn't even know Frisco needed cleaning for enormous houses. I didn't know that. I just came here because I wanted to have something different. And lo and behold, so that's why I'm here. And I stayed in Frisco because of HEB. Let me just make that very clear. Hoping I get a spot.
HEB is very important. I was very excited when they finally got it.
Girl, I was driving from Aubrey all the way over here. I was like, I don't care how long it takes me. It could take me 2 hours. I'm going to get my cheese and my bread.
So you're an HEB-ite before you were a Friscoan by choice.
HEB is where it's at.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, Maria. Love hearing those stories. Gisella, I want to hear your story. How did you end up, doing what you're doing in this area?
Well, my story is kind of different because, like I said, I'm from Peru. So I came to the U.S. in 2001, and I came for work. And when I came to Dallas, there in Peru, I was born in Lima, which is a coastal city. So I used to have California weather all year long and all these flowers and plants around me. So when I got here to Dallas, everything is green, but just green. There's like no flowers, nothing. So
you mean we're just flat with no real topography? What?
I
lived here my whole life. I know. I go visit everywhere else. Beautiful. I know.
So I have a passion for customer service. I'm a people person. So I've been in the hospitality business my whole life. So what I needed to do is that I needed to connect to people. And also, I always had passion for flowers and plants. But I am not a flower person either because I don't have the patience. And then, I started thinking, how can I share my passion about plants and about being a people person while giving the community what they want? And that's when I came up with the idea of doing it with succulents, because as everybody knows, succulents are super easy to take care of. They look good everywhere. They are trendy. So I just said, well, let's go ahead and do this with succulents. And since really to have a store, it's a lot of money. It's very difficult to have just one place to do this. Plus, there was also the necessity of people wanting to they want us to come to you. So I said, well, then we're going to make this mobile. So that's when I came with the idea of putting these workshops together where you just contact me and I take care of the whole event. I provide everything from the tablecloths, the containers, the succulents, the decorations, and of course, we can do it different ways. We can do it as a team building event, we can do it as a wellness event, kids event, and we bring the music, we bring the fun, everybody gets relaxed, and at the end of the day, you get your little garden that is made by you with the plants that you want, with the colors that you want. Like I always say, it's not like my paintings. Well, these are not my paintings, I bought them, but when you go to a paint and sip, yeah, it's fun and everything else, but you end up with a horrible thing. So all my paints are in my garage right now. There's no way I can put them up. So with the plants, like I said before, also it's wellness. You get to relax, to have fun. Plants, they do help you with getting relaxed, with getting focused on what you need to do. So I go ahead and get all these tips on how you can get good kind of wellness having a plant.
I love that. And I love the concept too, because I've been to some of those paint and sip things, and the end result has been I would never ever put it on my wall.
Never ever.
You don't want to sell it online for multiple dollars?
Yeah,
You sip more than you paint.
yeah, it becomes more like firewood. The canvas. Just break it up and throw it in the fire.
I also like that she knows how all of us are going to kill the flowers, so we can't do that.
Oh, no.
She's like, what's the thing that needs the least amount of care
Right.
for our lives that you could do? Succulents. Perfect.
The keep it simple, stupid principle. The KISS principle. Keep it non-dead.
Right, because I also thought about all of us being busy and running all the time here in the United States. We don't have like a slow pace like in other countries, so I needed to find something that you don't have to take care of. You just have to water them every month and they are going to look beautiful for the rest of their lives.
Love it. Well, I love the concept, and I love your story as well. So what we do have to do is take our final commercial break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about our new fun segment, What's the Difference? So, Lennon, go ahead and give us our last commercial break, and we'll be right back with What's
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media, LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference Series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
And now it's time for What's the Difference?
All right, welcome back. We are in our segment called What's the Difference, as you just heard. And this is where I'm going to ask you a question, and I'd love to hear your answer on what the difference is between A and B. In this case, under the topic of leadership and influence, been thinking a lot about this topic based on what Tracey and I were through this past weekend and what we're going to be facing over the next 9 months. And this question resonated with me as I've been just diving a little bit deeper into this topic of leadership. And the question is, what's the difference between inspiring a team and managing a team? And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And we're going to go around the horn. Tracey, let's start with you first.
The difference between inspiring a team and managing a team is, I think, inspiring is the people on the team want to do XYZ for the team, for the better of the whole team, for themselves. They feel good about themselves doing it. They feel like they're contributing to the whole. They feel inspired, right? They're not being forced, or it's not the I forget what the word is. I can't think of the word. If you're managing a team, then I think you're just checking the boxes and getting by on the day to day, doing what you have to do to get by. And I don't think that you're getting anything out of it.
I like it. Gisella, what are your thoughts on this?
I really think about being a team is all of us to be at the same level. Like, there is not this person on top that is going to just say what to do to each one of the people in the team. Is to get all of us involved, so all of us have a voice on what's going on, and that it also includes not micromanaging, which is the worst thing you can do. It's just let your people, your team talk to you, give you ideas, brainstorm, so they know that they have a voice and that they are contributing to the success of your company or your group.
Very good. I like that. Maria, how about you?
The difference between managing and inspiring a team, in my experience, has been doing it's the difference between do as I say, not as I do. And I think that more leaders should, or they should consider definitely doing and serving in hopes that their team gets inspired. So walking the talk, doing the things so that they can see what a leader looks like, and that will inspire them to follow and do good, whether someone's watching or not, because they have that role model there.
I like that. Jax, what about you?
I would say that managing a team is obviously just putting out orders. So, this is the things that you need to do and just holding them to that. Whereas when you're inspiring a team, they are doing the things that they need to do, as well as maybe even some additional things that you didn't even think about, using their unique talents because you have given them a direction. You've looked at their dreams, their goals, right? And you're growing those people, as well as you are growing yourself as an organization, right? For me, that's the difference between inspiring versus managing.
Love it. Yeah, and I like this topic because I've had, I worked in corporate America for 20 years and been an entrepreneur for the last 5 or 6. So I've had different aspects of it that I've experienced, right? And I've had really good leaders, and I've had no real bad leaders, but I think the key difference in that leadership style is somebody who can balance both but certainly it leans more towards the inspirational side. Depending on who your team is and what they're surrounded by, their talents are different levels, and different people are better at different things than others. You can be a great tactical leader, and I consider that more the management side, whereas the inspirational side and being that leader who can pull out the best talents and the best qualities of a person and an individual to benefit, like you said, Tracey, the team, I think is the key there. Let's see, I'm looking at my clock. I've got a couple minutes. I think we're going to squeeze in one more question here, and we're going to have to make it somewhat shorter answers. I asked that question specifically first because I really liked it. Let me see if I could find one here that I starred. Okay, this one is a good one too. It may need a little bit more time, but we're going to try to touch on it. What's the difference between investing in your professional development and expecting your job to provide those growth opportunities?
I didn't hear the last part. What was it?
What's the difference between investing in your professional development and expecting your job to provide growth opportunities? So we'll go 20 seconds on each answer. So Jax, we'll start with you.
So I think you should always be investing in your professional development, whether they give you opportunities or not. I think a lot of people sit around and they wait for somebody to hand them something, and the correct response should be that you should be always doing something for yourself, and then hopefully the professional opportunities come.
I like it. Tracey?
Yeah, I agree with Jax on that. I think you should always be looking to better yourself or be the better version of yourself in every day, in every way. And I don't think you should look to your job to be filling that box for you.
Love it. Gisella?
Yes, definitely. We are always learning. There's always a learning ladder going on for everything, for our professional growth and also for our own internal roles. So I always take opportunities to go and get involved with the community, with the networking, because there's always somebody that have a good advice for you on whatever topics are out there.
Love it. Maria, 20 seconds. What you got?
I believe that when you invest in your professional, you say your professional development, right?
Yep.
That, I think it's like you're building a staircase. Like you have to always build in order for you to get the next opportunity. It's like building skill sets all the time for whatever it is that you may need in the future, because you never know where life is going to take you or what opportunity might show itself. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Oh, I like that. I like it. All right, here's the official Webster Dictionary answer to the question. Investing in professional development means taking proactive steps to enhance your skills, knowledge, and capabilities, often at your own initiative and expense, like what you guys touched on. Expecting your job to provide the growth opportunities is a passive approach, relying on external factors rather than taking control of your own development. So I think you guys nailed that one. I did want to read the official answer, the Webster's Dictionary answer to our leadership question. Again, the question was the difference between inspiring a team and managing a team. The answer, inspiring a team means motivating members to exceed their own expectations, fostering a shared vision, and driving collective success. Managing a team focuses on organizing tasks, overseeing performance, and ensuring objectives are met, often without deeply engaging the team's passion or creativity. So I think we hit on all those points on that question as well. All right. I'm sorry we had to breeze through that second question. I would have liked to dive a little bit deeper into it, but we are out of time. So what I want to do is to circle back and make sure our guests are able to share again who they are, what they do, and then also I'm going to ask
Brian, we don't have enough time for that. We're out of time today, so we're not going to have time for that.
Fair point. Well, again, I guess that's a sign that we had a really good discussion because we are out of time. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today as guests. And ladies, thank you for being my awesome co-hosts again this week. I look forward to doing it again next month. With that, guys, we will wrap up. Have a safe, happy, fun weekend, and we will see you back here next week, 2:30.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Ethan Donovan with Donovan Creative Agency. Jacqueline Crider with PBJ Mortgage. Tracey Churchman with Best Buddies. Kristen King Marketing Rep with the Frisco Rough Riders. And by Bethany Rowan, Realtor with Rowan Homes. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference.